to the Indie Wrestling Guy with your hosts, the Hall of Fame referee, JHawk, the not-so-mysterious benefactor, JGold, and the legendary Charly Butters.
So I was helping Rick move the shop from Warren to the new location, which is a secret currently. And I was moving a glass cabinet, and I had one side, and they picked up the other side, and the glass doors slid down full force and smashed my fingers into the metal, and almost lost a finger.
Did you really? You almost lost it?
I mean, you can't really see. You can kind of see this.
You get stitches?
I didn't. I know. I fucking luckily was able to like glue the shit. So,
jeez.
Yeah, he just bled over like 3 different locations.
Yeah, my car, all over the old shop, all over the parking lot of Family, the dollar store. That's how I went over there to get stuff.
That's how Star Labs is going to clone you, and there's going to be multiple Butters going around because they found your blood DNA.
Dude, I was spraying. So I messaged Patty, and I told Patty, I was like, I'm not going to the doctors. I don't have insurance right now. I can't go to the ER. I was like, so we got to fix this like without that. I was like, so what do I need? I was like, do I need super glue? She's like, I wouldn't do that because then bacteria can get inside there. I was like, okay. She's like, you need to get these stair stitches. Like it's like a thing that you can like put on it, and you like it's got a zipper thing. You pull it, and it like tightens the skin so that it's supposed to like go over itself and keep it from opening up and bleeding more.
Yeah.
All this shit. No place had them. So like I ended up getting second skin. But I did get peroxide because I wanted to make sure it was clean before I put stuff on it. And I had like A&D ointment, or not A&D, fucking ointment shit.
Yeah.
And like I'm spraying the stuff all over, and it's foaming on my finger and then like just dripping out into the parking lot. And there was like a mound of red foam in the parking lot.
Gross.
And these people are like looking at me, and I'm just like, yeah, I was like, it's fine. Fucking thought I got it to stop for a little bit. We go out to the new location. I'm like trying to like rewrap it. It starts bleeding again. I didn't notice it, like soaked my jeans. One whole leg of my jeans was like soaked on my lap. I was like, oh my God, it was a mess.
That's gross. That's
yeah, I probably lost a decent amount of blood. I'm not on any blood thinners either. It was just the way it was. Now it's pretty healed. It's not moving or anything, and still tender, but
3 people missed their life-saving transfusion because you refused to go to the fucking ER. You go for asshole.
Right.
I don't think that's how that works, JHawk, but all right.
But by the way, speaking of bleeding out all over the place, I missed the flag football game this weekend, but we did win 6-0 without me there. But apparently, the very first play of the game, the coach on my team, his daughter dove for a ball and shattered her kneecap on the field the very first play of the game. So we had people going all out, and when I'm out there, they give me 0 effort. And this kid's going out there and just leaving her legs all over the field. What the hell?
How did practice go?
Practice went great, by the way. We figured it out, Butters, and we should have done this in like week 2. We're running everything out of the same set. So we should have done that in the first place, and then you just rotate the sets, and we didn't do that. We were like, I was trying all different things, like all sorts of chicanery. And instead, they ran everything out of the same set, and we did get a touchdown, and then we did not give up anything more than 10 yards the entire game. So all of a sudden, these girls are playing defense, and when I'm there, I get nothing. We get blown out 27-0. Next week of the playoffs, so we are 1-6. Just like last year. We won the last game of the year, and then we went in the playoffs and got our asses handed to us. So we'll see what happens this year. I don't know. God damn it.
And they think the NCAA basketball tournament has too many teams. 1-6, we're in the playoffs.
There are only 6 teams, man. All the kids play. I did go to Medieval Times this weekend, and if anybody has ever been there, this is the first time I've ever been there. It's the most fun I've ever had. Like, it is so much fun. They actually swing those swords at each other. There's like sparks.
Josh, I feel like you should have been going to Medieval Times since like the mid 90s, dude.
Yes.
Like when the Cable Guy came out, they did stuff at there. Like I went when I was in school. We went on our class trip. We like.
Well, so here's the deal.
This is one night.
Medieval Times, the one by us, the only one is in New Jersey in this town called Lyndhurst. Lyndhurst is about, if you're driving from where I am in Long Island, and I lived in the town over before when I grew up, that's probably almost an hour and a half to 2 hour drive because of the traffic, even though it's only like 25 miles from here. But like in those days, we just weren't driving out there to like, go to dinner. So I missed out on Medieval Times. And now as an adult, I get to go to Medieval Times, and I had a scotch, and I'm sitting there and you eat like a half a chicken with your hands. And, it's great. It's great. They ride, how many horses? That building is ridiculous. I'm like, where do they store all these horses? There were like 20 horses.
I love the fact, JGold, that you're the only one to live anywhere near Medieval Times, and you were the last one of us to actually go.
Yeah. That's what everybody said. They're like, how did you never go here? I'm like, I'm like, that's a really good question. My wife even went there. Her family went to Medieval Times when she was a kid, and I didn't get a chance to go. Me and my stupid brother never got to go to Medieval Times and fight in the middle of the sand or whatever they're fighting in. But you know what? It felt very old school, and I like that. But the facility was really well kept, and now it's all about selling merch. There was so much merch. There was so many fake swords, and you can buy beer mugs, and everybody. I can only imagine what the 7 o'clock show was, because we went at 2, and it was still pretty rowdy. But can you imagine when all the adults are there and it's just out of control? I bet you everybody is absolutely tanked, because you can get there an hour and a half early and sit at the bar. So there are people dressed up like, Renaissance people getting hammered before they go inside. And I'm like, what's the payoff here that you're wearing the Renaissance gear? Because they're not going to let you onto the field or whatever that's called. So what's the point? I don't get it.
Yeah, dude, it's the same thing.
It's
the same thing as when you go to like the Ren Fair. It's you dress up.
Right, I guess so. Yeah. I mean, but the interaction is a little bit less in Medieval Times, because you're just talking to a waiter with an electronic credit card swiper, as opposed to when you go to like the Renaissance Fair and you're actually talking to like villagers and all sorts of crap and stuff like that. So I don't know, but it's a lot of fun, and I highly recommend if you're ever near one, just go buy the tickets and go. It's great. Anyway. That was my weekend, and I liked it very much. Oh, and this week is He-Man, by the way. And tomorrow, actually, today, this drops on Thursday. The day before this is my birthday. So if anybody wants to wish me well, you can go ahead and do that. Wish me well on my way to my colonoscopy.
Wilbur had some wishes for you this week.
He sure did.
After listening to the show.
I thought Wilbur was. I didn't know if Wilbur was mad at me or not. I was like, "What's he talking about?"
He's gonna send you a box of poop, I think is what he's gonna send you.
What's my address so I can pay for shipping and get him to sign his jacket? I thought it was the other way around. I would sign it and send it back out.
You said you would charge him. He would have to pay his own shipping to get it. And so I think he's gonna pay shipping, but he's just gonna send you a box of poop. So.
I get nervous anytime Wilbur only pops up every once in a while in our group chat, and there he is, Butters. And I'm like, what did I do now? Because Dom does that to me. I'm like, what did I do? But Wilbur
messages me usually like after he listens to the episode. He'll message me and we'll laugh about something I said. But like, no, he was very all over that, and he missed like the one thing I thought he would actually react to. He completely missed it, because he said that when he hears JHawk talk about Real Action Pro Wrestling, he zones out. And I was like, it's a totally reasonable thing to do. Any normal person would. And so like he had to go back and re-listen to it to find it to hear what I said. So
I'm just gonna say, JHawk, in your defense, one of the highest viewed mixers of the entire year. Your mixer on Sunday, almost 200 views. So I'm just saying,
he's real big in the Mexican community.
That's right. No, this was Clash in Italy, so I think the Europeans love him.
Yeah.
He looks like a sweaty Frenchman. Yeah, that's probably.
But yes.
I'm glad my schedule worked out that I could actually do one of those. I do plan on doing more of those. Go check those out on the Main Event Wrestling Network when they come up, pretty much before any major show they do one.
Yeah, and I know that Kyle was super amped up after the episode, because him and GBH both were saying how good you were on there, and I'm like, I get to work with JHawk every week. I'm like, you're missing out. He just is a wealth of knowledge.
I hope that they start bothering him for it, not me, so I can continue to just.
You've never done a mixer. You've got to come on and do one.
I'm pretty sure I've done one.
One AEW, I think. I think you did an AEW mixer.
Yeah, I've done like 2 AEW.
We got to get you on a few of those, because you have good knowledge for those. And you'd be good.
I like to keep my appearances sparse. Kyle's got to pay that appearance fee.
Stay mysterious.
Yeah, Butter's gone so big he required 2 hot dogs before he popped up on another podcast.
That's right.
I got to double fist him, one from each side, and just
You you got to clear it with his agent before you get him on the show.
Yeah, I'm so big. I have an agent now. That's why Thorne won't deal with me.
Yeah, I have such a line for you, double fisting hot dog, but at Pride Month, I'm not going to go there.
Do it, fucking do it. I talk shit about you and your wife all the time. Fucking let's go, let's get it.
You enjoy having two wieners in your mouth at the same time, Butter?
Fucking as long as they're touching while they're in there, absolutely.
That's too easy. Well, shit. What's next?
Shout outs.
Sure.
Shout out to Paul, who has been rocking our new shirt at some shows. He was at the Exodus show this weekend and had our shirt on. And Patty's like, "There's a person here with your shirt on." I was like, "Yeah, that's Paul."
She told me the same thing. She texted me today and sent me the picture of her and Paul. And she was like, "I asked him for a picture once I realized who it was." I said, "Don't go giving those out to everybody, Patty."
And shout out to Zach, who I don't know if he was talking about coming up for Toy Ohio and staying with me. I don't know if he is or not now. Like he just asked, he's like, I only one I remember is the fall one. When's this one? I'm like, in 20 days.
By the way, Butters, speaking of Patty, she sent me a picture for Slow Burn Shoot for the video for when I go. And the guests that night are going to be Joey Janela, Hot Sauce Tracy Williams. I don't know who this is. Gabby Lespisa and Adam Abdallah. I don't know who those two are, but I know I'm going to get a chance to see Joey and Hot Sauce. So
cool.
Yeah. So that's going to be a good one.
You want to tell them how you buried him last week when we were talking ETU? Or
I didn't bury him in ETU. Butters did.
I did.
Thank you.
Yeah, you're welcome.
I thought it was a great match. I did not bury Tracy Williams. No way.
Yeah, we're going to review that at the end of the month, so keep that in mind.
Yeah.
Let's see. So we talked about Zach. We talked about Paul. We got Bagelmonger, who I still got to send your guys' cards out. I have them sitting right here. I was going to wait and get the next set done too, but maybe I'll just send them out.
Yeah.
And then, of course, Patty, who gave me life-saving medical advice so I didn't bleed to death in the bathroom of a toy store.
Hey,
Patty. Thanks, Patty. Thanks for nothing. You saved his life. Shit.
What's on this weekend?
All right, I'm going to go first, JHawk, since I have it up already. Beyond Wrestling presents Break the Walls Down Friday night, June 5th, 8 p.m. on the Independent Wrestling Television Network. Love Doug versus Leo Sparrow, Stetson Ranch versus the Shooter Boys and Aaron Rourke, Max Caster versus Corey Duke, Megan Bain versus Gabby Forza, Ben Bishop, the network's friend, versus Dustin Waller, and MJF versus Bobby Orlando. And that's all going on in Rhode Island, I think. Is it Rhode Island? Hold on.
No thanks.
What is that? Hold on. I think it's in Rhode Island on Friday night. So that's an interesting card. That'll be
one match out of all those that I'd care to see.
That's a very
Let you figure out which one.
That's a very East Coast card, by the way. That's a very over here Long Island / Mecca card, basically. If you go to the Mecca, you'd probably see that card minus MJF. So
fuck Beyond.
Oh, fair, but all right. Over on Triller, the GCW weekend.
Of course, it is
Saturday, June the 6th at 5 p.m. Eastern. It is Tournament of Survival 11. If they've announced first round match, I didn't take the time to look them up, and I apologize for that. But among those scheduled to be in the tournament, Dr. Redacted, Jonathan Gresham, Little Gecko, Makashi Takeda, Mr. Danger, Nino Extremo, and Viper. Of course, at 10 o'clock on Saturday, will be the this year's Deathmatch Hall of Fame ceremony as well.
So
Did they announce who that is, or no?
I didn't hear you, Jay Gold. I'm sorry.
Did they announce who that was, by the way? Who's going into the Deathmatch Hall of Fame?
I haven't seen it.
Oh, okay.
He did very minimal work. Like you could tell that he was busy sweating outside before he came in to do this. Speaking of GCW, they did announce today that they will be doing their backyard wrestling show for the 8th time. Originally July 4th, they have a show scheduled that was not the backyard show. People were kind of bummed about that, but Sunday, July 5th will be the backyard show, invite only. Of course, it'll be streaming on Triller. So I'm sure you'll get to see some cards set themselves on fire and do other dumb shit like that for your entertainment on the 5th. So
can't say that.
Spoiler alert, Joey Janela will be in a 45-minute main event at that show, like every other year.
It is it was a very fun concept during COVID and is no longer
There will be trampolines,
anything.
pools, and dives off of the roof of a house.
Yeah, it's no longer as fun as it used to be. So anyway, what's the game, Butters? What's the game?
Oh, you want to play the game?
Yeah.
Zach's match game.
Yeah.
It's the Quentin Tarantino tournament, and I'm gonna go first because I'm not gonna let you guys ruin my beautiful vision that I have for this.
Okay.
All right, so the Tarantino, it's gonna be a tag tournament, 6-man tag teams. Derek Dillinger is the referee for every match because he's the Neon Tarantino. These will take place in Hollywood. For Once Upon a Time in Hollywood. And the teams will be the Reservoir Dogs of David Finlay, Gabe Kidd, and Clark Connors against Team Pulp Fiction, which will be Mance Warner, Steph DeLander, and Matthew Justice. Team Jackie Brown, which will be Jocelyn, Nick Gage, and Sol Ruca versus Team Kill Bill, which will be Cardona, Chelsea, and Brian Myers. Team Death Proof, which will be Mox, Claudio, and Yuta against the Inglorious Bastards of Eric Stevens, Dom Guarini, and Kevin Koo. Team Django Unchained of Eddie Kingston, Isaiah Brunner, and Gunther against the Hateful Eight of Shelby, Katie Arquette, and Alonzo Cruz. And yeah, that's what I got. So that's going to be a tag tournament, and the teams are based on the movies.
All right. Well, mine is a concept. We can fill in the talent later, but I think the concept is really good. It's every Quentin Tarantino trope, like for the tournament. So it's like non-linear storytelling, betrayals, and lengthy promos that go on forever. The brackets revealed completely out of order. Okay, so at the start of the show, the announcer says, "Tonight you'll see the finals, then the quarterfinals, then a flashback explaining why one wrestler is carrying a samurai sword." So you'll get all that at the start. Then no one's going to explain it any further, by the way. You're all going to sit there going, I don't know what they just said, but you're going to have to watch it. Then you're going to get, I have a few things like a Vincent Vega match where they spend 15 minutes talking about cheeseburgers and European travel, and then they forget that they had a match, so there's a double count out. So we just have to figure out which wrestlers are going to fit in there, but I think it would work very well. We want to do like a false count anywhere, like in the style of Stuntman Mike, where they have to brawl through like a bunch of different arenas and then come back. It all ends up into the ring. Like they keep showing you the same scene from over and over again, and it all ends up in the ring. Let's see. What else did I have here? Oh, this one I was talking to a friend about and thought this was a good idea. Everything you see tonight has actually happened 6 months ago. So they give you a twist out of nowhere. You have to kind of think it through. And then the main event, at the 25-minute mark, instead of a chop battle, one of the contenders wins with a 5-point palm exploding heart punch.
Okay. All right.
Yeah.
Okay.
I was going to go, before you start, JHawk, I was going to go super deep and name like the characters that each wrestler would be like representing of the movies. I didn't do that, though, because, like I said, shit could get pretty racial pretty quick, and I didn't want to do that. So.
Right.
Okay, well, JGold and I actually we're thinking along the same line, unfortunately. It's going to look like I'm ripping him off with some of it. But I'll go doing a non-linear narrative structure, go quarterfinal matches are taking place while first-round matches are still going on, go guys are showing up injured or bandages or whatever, and you got to kind of piece together what happened when. I agreed with the promo battle, but my idea was everybody was going to do a 2-minute promo in the middle of the ring before the match officially started. And it didn't have to make any sense of what they were doing.
Yeah.
One idea I did have, though, was making modernized wrestling themes illegal for the tournament. You had to use either like really bad 70s rock or like spaghetti western shit for your theme. The tournament will be a 16-person tournament. The first round will be under Reservoir Dog rule, 4 separate 4-way elimination matches with over-the-top rope eliminations. Every wrestler wearing a black suit and a color-coded tie. And because it's a Tarantino tournament, the winners and the runner-up will advance because it doesn't need to make any sense. That would lead to the quarterfinals, the Kill Bill Gauntlet, where the winner of the previous 4-way match will have to go through a gauntlet of local talent before their regularly scheduled opponent, which will be the runner-up of the four-way match, is the last person they got to beat. And if they lose at any point, then that runner-up gets their spot in the semifinals. The semifinals will be the Texas Grindhouse Death Match, ultraviolet no DQ matches, but these are going to be pre-taped so that if there's a rest spot, we can do like the cinematic filter thing and skip ahead. And then the finals are going to be the Pulp Fiction trunk match, where to win, you must trap your opponent inside the trunk of a vintage 1974 Chevy Malibu. The winner of the tournament is presented with a golden gift mask that they can use to cash in for a world title shot at a time of their choosing.
I like that. I was going to say you could have used that briefcase as part of the as one of the on a pole type of thing.
I thought about doing that to coincide with the finals, but I couldn't make it make sense even by Tarantino standards.
Right.
So.
That works. I like it.
It's tough competition this week. We'll see.
Let us know, Zach. Sack of shit.
Who's Zach? Oh wow, that's gonna get you real far, Josh.
I put way too much fucking thought into that.
Right.
Other than the nonlinear storytelling, like which he did in one film, I don't understand the love for that. But
I don't know. I feel like he does that in a lot of films. Yeah.
No, you've not seen a lot of his films then,
all of them.
Then you do not pay attention.
I do.
I was also considering a stipulation where the loser of the match had to tip the referee, but
when you said trunk match, I thought you meant like an actual like trunk that you kept a human being in, like the gimp, but then you circled back and put the gimp mask, the golden gimp mask. So it did a really good job on that.
A wallet that says "bad motherfucker" on a pole match. Oh, I like that. Anyway, good. All right, Zach, come back to us or I'll slap your face.
The winner should have been gets the briefcase so they could see what was actually in the briefcase.
That's what I said to him. He said he was trying to make it work. He couldn't figure it out.
Yeah, then you reveal that it was the golden gimp mask in there the whole time.
That could have worked.
Or a Slammy Award.
There we go.
From like the 94 Slammies.
Yeah. Circling back to the real wrestling. There you go.
Doing interviewing.
All right. This week we have with us the current AIW Absolute Champion, Hilljack. Wait, no.
Wait a minute.
Damn, Hardway, Holloway. Damn.
Hey, babe, damn it.
Oh, Hilljack. Nobody knows who that is.
Yeah, I don't know. I've never heard of that name.
No.
Never.
Sam, welcome back, brother.
Hey, thanks for having me back since my debut.
I was going to say you were absolutely the first. You were the first fresh meat interview we ever did.
Wow.
And now I think what did Butters 3 years later or 2 years later? 3 years?
2 or 3.
Yeah, something like that. I don't know.
So and now as you go on your way up and you step on our heads as you go higher up in the business, we get to have you back.
There we go.
Yeah.
Every 3 years. That's what we're going to do. Every 3 years.
I guess we'll start there. Like, tell us a little bit about, like, you know, what did you think was it like? What did you think it was going to be like from when you started? After you got off the show with us, you were up there to begin with. Your skills actually, we saw as a student that you were a little bit more advanced. We understand with your size and your look, like there's more opportunity. So what did you think it was going to be like when at that point, and now, like how wrong or what is it like now as far as the difference?
Yeah, sure. So back when I was first on 3 years ago, that was kind of like fresh off my debut. I didn't really know what to expect of, especially like independent wrestling. So I was kind of lost for the first 6 months and how can I get matches or how can I get booked? And then it was the new year after my debut. So it was 2023 or 2024. I just decided that I was just going to hop in every single car that I can and just see what happens. And kind of now is like, now we're here. It kind of just never ended of just hopping in cars and then getting booked. And then next thing you know is like, I'm now creating the car loads for the people that were like me 3 years ago, just trying to get booked. And now it's just been this just a flow of every weekend. I'm just traveling. It's been kind of crazy of just where it's kind of taken off from.
And you got discovered at IWC.
So it's essentially you went from AIW rookie to kind of, and it went quickly. Like 4 months later, you were booked pretty much every show doing your thing as far as AIW goes,
Yeah.
you had opportunities for the title even before now, like very early on. And then at what point did the ID, what point did that happen? Did that happen within the first year, you would say, or was that a little bit after the first year?
A little bit after the first year. I would say I was year two. It was halfway through year one, starting year two was when it picked up or when it became a thing.
Were you surprised that happened? I mean, look, with the indie world we watch guys from the beginning. Some don't ever get out of, the first gear. So getting to where you are so quickly, did it surprise you, or were you like, yeah, this is where I want to be, this is the trajectory I envisioned, or it's fast? Like, what did you think?
So I will say I was surprised at the WWE ID becoming a thing, because obviously it's never been a thing before. So that's really surprised me. But I guess in the trajectory of myself, I would still say I'm surprised, but that's the goal that I had. Just kind of coming from backgrounds of before, through high school, I went through some scouting background. So I knew what it took to get scouted, or what scouts look for in a sense. So I kind of just used those tools that I learned prior to professional wrestling. So even though I was still surprised, that was always my goal and plan from the beginning.
I think what really did it was Triple H probably saw you break that watermelon in half like you did.
Absolutely.
And then he was like, I fucking hate watermelon. This guy, we got to sign this guy.
You know what's funny? What's funny is that same promo got brought up this past weekend when I was in Chicago with Shimbashi and Tyler Jordan. Obviously Shimbashi was in Texas by the time that I debuted, and I didn't know he watched it, but him and MJ just brought it up. Like, hey, what were you thinking behind that? And in all honesty, I just wanted my wife to be in my first promo. So that was
there's probably more thought put into that than Tyler Jordan's MJ Michael Jackson promo that he did recently.
No comment on that. No comment.
So how is your? I want to get these out of the way first, because I like to. I'm really curious, because I don't get to see you as much over here. I get to see you, but we don't get a chance to shoot it anymore. But I want to kind of hear. How is your as far as your training goes?
Sure.
Your influences. How does that change? How has it changed from the AIW school till now? Are you still leaning on your old the old teachers and things like that, or are you really working with different as far as trainers go and mentors? Has it changed a lot, or do you go back to your old teacher?
I would say it's changed a lot, but I still view Derek and Dom as my day one trainers, and I still hit them all the time with tons of questions. And I try to still go to the AIW school as much as I can. I try at least once a week, and I'll just go as a student myself, and I don't try to take over class or anything. I still just listen to Dom and Derek on whatever drills they have, and I still run the drills with all the other students that are still trying to debut. And then obviously, with the program and with just years of wrestling, I've picked up other mentors or people that have tried to help me. And then obviously with being in the ID program, being on Evolve, we have the opportunity to train at the Performance Center. So anytime that I get to sit among one of those classes, obviously I try to pick up all of that I can, then I try to bring it back. Or usually when I can come back to the AIW school, I try to host some impromptu invite only session for mainly the main roster who's advanced, and I try to show them, hey, this is what I learned this week if anybody cares. And then so that's kind of how training goes about now. And then obviously any training outside of AIW try to do, I've the Natty in the dungeon, every time I've been there, it's been fantastic. The people at Reality Wrestling as well is awesome. And then so I always try to stay within the AIW Academy, but any chance I have to train outside, I'm always going to take advantage of it.
Oh, well, I'm really glad that you've been working with Derek Dillinger. He's young up and comer. I'd really like you to take him under your wing, teach him some of the tricks of the trade.
Derek was the first one to get me out of the house. He was the first one that told me hey, I'm going to Pittsburgh this weekend and you're coming. And then so he was the one that opened the gate, opened the door for me to hop in cars. He was the first one, which is kind of awesome.
Okay, now would you say that you learned more in the car than you did in the training center? Maybe not much a performance center, but in general before that.
Yeah, honestly, I feel that's where I figured out the in-betweens of wrestling and why we really do this is definitely just from chatting with vets in the car. And like, you know, people will talk about who trained you or like who, and some people will say like who broke you in. And like, I do have different people. Like obviously Derek and Dom were my trainers, but like people that broke me in are like people like Alec Price, who I drove with, I don't even know how many times. People like Manders, who ever, like before we even wrestled at AIW last year, talking to him for like 8 months, just asking questions. So it's just, you know, just always being open to listening to anyone that you're in the car with, or even, you know, who you train with.
So you mentioned the performance center. How does that work? Do you have to be in town to go over there, or do you take the trip and be like, all right, I'm going to spend 2 days down here and do that? Or how does that work?
Sure. So whenever there's Evolve, they kind of extend the invitation like, hey, if you can come in early, you can come train in our classes. So most of us just take advantage of that. And then they kind of just say, hey, you're going to be training with this coach this week. Here's the schedule. And then we just come on in early.
And you're doing Reality of Wrestling now too, right? So
Absolutely.
So are you learning there too when you're over there?
A lot. So they have wonderful people at Reality Wrestling. Obviously, Booker T is there. Miss Charmel, both. Mm-hmm. They're watching over the whole show. They're at every show. There's individuals like Kevin's. He's really like the brain, I feel like, behind Reality of Wrestling. So he has a great vision. And then there's another coach, Ryan Davison, he's a big guy. He did work over in Japan. So I work with him a lot as well. And at Reality Wrestling is just like a special place because they do have like their own arena and their own facility where they have like a workout room. They have 2 rings other than the show ring. So they have 3 total rings. So when I'm at Reality of Wrestling, I'd always try to get there as early as possible, you know, just to pick Booker T's brain and whoever I can, and also just get more reps in.
How quicker or how accessible is somebody like that to where you want to pick their brains? Like, can you just walk over and be like, hey, is there only designated times you get an opportunity to do that?
At Reality Wrestling, it's pretty the whole time. Like the whole time you could just kind of just wait by somebody and they'll be free. It's kind of like any independent show, you know, it's everyone's just kind of like hanging out around, and then you can just pick their brains whenever you can. I will say, like, Reality of Wrestling is much more focused on a television show. So the matches and the production's very TV based. So that's like the biggest thing we get to work on. So like obviously Book's right there to like help you through it all because he's the commentator on NXT. So he's very open and just around for any questions that anyone has.
So with all that training that you've done, what do you think you've improved on most since the first time we met, we interviewed you, we talked a lot of crap. What do you think you've improved on the most right now? And wait, besides
climbing to the second rope.
I was going to say, you tell me what you think, and then tell me what somebody like Dom or Derek would say about where you've improved. Because then we'll just get them too.
I think personally, and I think it's just because it's more recent that I can recognize, is the simplicity of a wrestling match. The independents especially loves a lot of reversals and like a lot of ducks and stuff. And I realized that that's not me. So just keeping it as simple as possible has been my greatest improvement that I believe. Now, if you were to ask Derek and Dom, they might just bury me.
Actually, I forgot to ask him beforehand for questions to say. We'll get Derek while you're on right now. I'm definitely going to get him.
I think they would admire like my acceptance to change as a wrestler, because that was a big thing that Dom and Derek always preached as we were students. Is like, hey, someone might tell you one thing, but someone else might tell you other, and you're just gonna have to change. And I think they'd both be like very proud that I'm kind of like open to doing anything. And I think they'd just be kind of happy about how the way I presented myself compared to like my debut match to where I am now.
What do you think is different now about your scheduling and the way you're performing as opposed to when you were, the first year? Like, what's changed for you as far as how that's happening? Like, I'm trying to find the right words for it, because I see it in my head how I'm supposed to ask you this question. So when your first 6 months in the indies, right, you're doing something complete. What is different now as far as how you're preparing, how you're, going to these shows? Are you going, okay, I used to go to that one show and show up at 2:00 in the afternoon, sit and like not get myself warm or whatever? Like, what's different now as far as that goes?
So like my regimen on a show day really hasn't changed. Like I try to get to every show by like if the show starts at like 8 p.m., I usually get there about 1 to 2 p.m. just so I can get a layout of the land, even though if it's like the Globe Iron, like a place I've been a million times. It's just trying to get comfortable. Now with preparation that's different from back then when the first 6 months compared to now is I'd say in the first 6 months, I didn't think about the crowd. And I would just go out there and do anything, even if it was like whatever I was doing was hurting myself. I didn't care because I thought it was cool. But now,
I've seen some of those. Sure.
Yeah, absolutely. But now I really think about, hey, we're in Cleveland, Ohio. Like I've worked here 40 times. Like I know what gets a reaction, what's not going to get a reaction, what we need to really focus on, where we should put our time into the match and things like that. So I think now I'm smarter in the sense of like, hey, I know this is going to work depending on where or what territory I'm in.
So what's the difference? Tell me, like, what's the difference between Cleveland, Houston, Orlando? What do you think are the major differences in how you prepare or perform when you're in each different spot?
Absolutely. So I'll use Cleveland and Houston. So Cleveland is very much a move town where they will pop on a certain style and a certain moves, while Houston is very much entertainment based. So they really care about the emotion after something more than a move. Like you could do any type of move you want. It's probably not going to get a reaction of then you just freaking out over a near fall, for example.
All right, now you mentioned earlier about how Rowdy Wrestling really kind of focusing more on the TV side of things, and that's something I think that definitely missing on the indie. Even with streaming, that's not really the focus.
Sure.
How would that transition for you from I got to prepare for these 15, 20-minute indie matches to, okay, we've got 6 minutes on TV, curtain to curtain.
So to be completely honest, now that I've been able to get like a lot of reps in what people call the TV style, that's kind of how I treat my independent matches as well. Just because even though it's a TV style match, you're still playing to the crowd. So your audience is still the same, whether you're wrestling for television or if you're wrestling for just an independent show. So all of the reactions that you can get based in the match are still going to be the same. It's just when it comes to TV style, maybe you're selling and showing your face towards a camera instead of on an independent crowd. You're trying to find someone in the third row that you can make that face to. So it's all relatively the same for me, or how I look at it. It's just where my focus goes more, I guess you could say.
Do you think Marcus Mathers could have a 5-minute TV match?
Yeah, I do. I've seen it.
Was there a at the 2-minute 30-second mark, was there a chop battle?
Right.
Not that I can remember.
A double down.
We take
no comment on Marcus Mathers.
You know what, Sam? We tried to get Marcus on, and he didn't make it. So
we just before he was big time.
Yeah,
how about
big
that?
time before he was big time. So we're just gonna let him know.
Me and Marcus are good friends now, so I'll talk to him and see what's up. I'll figure something out for you guys.
He doesn't like JHawk, so it's probably what it is now. He doesn't like JHawk, so.
Yeah, it could be JHawk's fault. Yeah,
I don't want to know how he doesn't like me when he's never met me.
He's a lot. I know he listens. I know he's a listener.
Shit. So
the last review we did, I was the only one that freaking liked his match, and he hates me. Like, what the hell?
Well, look. We're just
you're an ass kisser. That's why he doesn't like ass kissers.
Oh crap, Sam. Let me ask you a question. Also, this is a little more serious. So, like,
yeah,
when at what point did you say to yourself, like, I made a breakthrough? Like, like how far along in the last like 3 years did you say to yourself, okay, I made a breakthrough in where I want to be? Like, at what point did you say to yourself, okay, I can take a breath for a second?
Never. Never. Like, obviously, like I've had like small goal, like accomplishment, like one where I felt something, like I felt it was the Matt Cardona match. That was like my first big match. That was like the first time where I like understood why he was at the level that he is now and what professional wrestling is. But like as for current breakthroughs, it's like we're doing so much right now. It's like I don't even have time to think about that, to be honest, because as soon as I get done with any type of match, I'm looking for feedback from somebody. So it's like I don't even get to really think about it at the moment.
So speaking of that, then, how do you handle, let's say there are two totally different ways to handle it. So on the regular indies, when you're working AIW and let's say you have a bad match, how do you handle it as opposed to when you're let's say you're in Orlando and you're doing, a TV taping? How do you handle it for yourself?
So and they're kind of the same, as just like kind of figure out like what went wrong. Mm-hmm. So obviously lucky with like a TV taping, you have producers and everything where you could talk to because they all have experience. So they should be able to avenue you in the correct direction of, well, hey, why didn't this hit the way you expected? And then like on an independent show, it's kind of the same thing where I'm just looking at individuals that are on the shows. Like at AIW, like I would talk to like Mance Warner. I was like, hey, you've been doing this way longer than I have. Like, why didn't this hit as I thought it would? Or it's just, just looking at the people who just have more experience than you and just asking those questions because they might have experienced something like that before.
And so what do you think is tougher then, as far as indies and TV? Like, is it the physicality? Does it change from the indies to TV, or is it the mental like the mental grind? Which one is tougher as far as that goes? Because now I get a chance to ask you a lot of questions, and you've seen a lot now in a very short amount of time. Sure. So I like to ask now that I get to see you.
I think for me, it's always been the mental grind. Just because, we all wrestlers get that rush of dopamine when they're out there. And then the next day, if you don't have a match, you're like on that crash of you have no idea what to do. So mentally, you always got to like put yourself in a situation where I don't really know how to put it, but it's just like mentally, you just always have to be ready on any type of situation, any type of match, and just realize what the end goal of what the mental grind is for, and like why you signed up for this and why do you want to become a superstar professional wrestler.
Yeah. So what do you think as far as staying mentally prepared? What do you do? Do you do anything differently as opposed to when you were working, your first 6 months as opposed to now? Do you do anything different mentally to keep yourself sane? Does your wife ever come with you on the road, or do you say to yourself, I need to step away every once in a while? Like, what do you do?
So, I'll answer that like into parts. So my wife never goes on the road. She stays at home with the dog. And I'd say from like the first 6 months prior to a match, I'm pacing back and forth, running laps backstage, just nervous, where now I'm like, I don't move at all. Like before a show, I'll just sit in the same chair and just, do my warm up, but just try and stay as calm as possible and save all that energy for when you hit the curtain, and just mentally or physically relaxing yourself. So mentally you can just relax.
So is there anybody that you emulate that you've seen, let's say on the ID side or on the Evolves, anybody that do you emulate like their routine, or has it always been just your routine?
I would say it's mainly my routine, but I will say like the person that I got the idea of that routine was Timothy Thatcher. He is the most calmest, happy guy before a show, where you can just find him sitting on the floor on a wall, just watching the show and just collecting every match and just collecting his own thoughts and just kind of relaxing. And, he does his own warm up, but he's just kind of like just getting in his own mode, sticking by himself and just preparing by just watching the show. And that's how he kind of gets ready. And that's kind of like what I've emulated is like for an example, like if I'm at an AIW show, I'll just sit there and just watch the show and not, obviously I'd focus on my stuff as just as much, but not trying to rush my brain of what's going on,
So I lost my train of thought here. JHawk, you want to jump in for a second while I gather, because my brain is mush?
All right. Now, how helpful do you think getting to do the extra work was in getting you to this level you're at now? Obviously, being backstage at those shows, and you're getting that experience of what it's like being back at those shows. How did that help you?
Yeah, just being able to pick all those guys' brains when they would give us the opportunity, and just making yourself available as much as possible and just being seen in front of the right eyes is really all it was. So anytime there was an opportunity of like it being like a 3 to 4 hour drive or less, I just try to take advantage of it and see if they just needed help, and then I just be an extra and just be ready for whatever they have to offer. And if they had nothing to offer, I'd just be hanging out and just making sure I look available.
You can just go there and be like, hey, I made it. Like, hey, you just email somebody and say, I'm here if you need me.
So there's like there's a process of like a physical and blood work that you have to go through, and it's kind of like once you get invited to be an extra, you can then kind of submit an email just like a month or two in advance, like saying, "Hey, I'm available for Monday Night Raw in Cleveland if there's any extras that need to be filled." And that's kind of how it was. So if they had open spots, then and if they had open availability, they could put you in for it, or if it was too full, you're kind of too late.
So speaking of that type of moment, so I've gathered my brain again. So
Sure.
What do you have, like, let's say the last, I'm going to try to say like 13, like 15 months. What has been the coolest moment where you step back and went, yeah, this is pretty fucking cool. Like, I can't believe this.
Definitely just being on Evolve and just stepping through and turning around and it being like a Jumbotron and not just a black curtain. You're like, you just kind of, like, I go and do the Taker Dive, and while I'm looking at the Taker Dive, I see the WWE Evolve logo, and you're like, wow, this is surreal. And, just things like that.
And so with that, then you became the AIW World Champion. Where does that fit, in your, in as far as moments and maybe goals? Like, did you say to yourself, like, oh yeah, I saw myself in that spot, or were you like, holy crap, I'm holding the big red belt,
I'd be lying if I said it was like a goal of mine.
Yeah.
Because I never really thought about it. And then, the opportunity keep coming. And then me and Chuck wrestled it in Akron and I won the belt, and I was like, oh, this is neat. Like, this is cool.
Yeah.
But it was, I'll say, like, with the landscape of AIW now, I don't know who else would have the red belt if it wasn't me. Selfishly.
Yeah. That's very interesting.
Yeah, I kind of like that attitude. That kind of reminds me of when Regal offered you that contract. Everybody else is like, "Well, thank you for the opportunity." You're like, "This is the last 15 I made. This is just the beginning."
Right. Absolutely. Yeah.
Can we talk about when you chokeslam that person onto the casket and poor Eric Taylor was inside and got smashed? Because that makes me laugh. I think about that every once in a while, and I just laugh to myself.
Poor Artie.
Might be one of my favorite moments in AIW that I've ever done. Just because they knew, not many people knew that was happening. So when I came out
apparently they didn't either.
Yeah, nobody knew. So that's my favorite part, is just walking in there and just grabbing them, and they could do nothing about it. everyone just had to deal with it.
We talked about that when we reviewed that.
So you recently told me that your match that you had with Mikey, Ed, and Joy was one of your all-time favorite matches. What made that one of your all-time favorite matches?
Just the way. So me and Mikey obviously have great chemistry. Just because, like, Mikey was my first real match in the AIW school. He was like the first person to go, yes, I want to can I wrestle Sam next week? And then no one knows this, but like in our first match, I actually had to get stopped because he broke my nose. But that's besides the point.
Wow.
But, yeah. Right. You can ask that when he ever comes back. But yeah, me and Mikey just had great chemistry, and like we were the main event of that show, and we had to follow match. And I knew, like, me and Mikey both were like, we don't wrestle. Like, I told Mikey, I'm like, hey, I don't wrestle like so, like, we're going to do nothing that he did. And he's going to go this avenue, and we're going to go a completely different avenue. And we both were like, this should work. And then, we just trusted ourselves and knew what the crowd was going to react to. And that was like for the first time that me and Mikey were able to like share a ring together, that the crowd cared about the whole 15-minute plus of the match, where they were just engaged the whole time, and they were just kind of eating out of the palm of our hands, which was just a cool feeling, because it's very rare that you can feel that in the moment. And I don't know if Mikey did, but in the moment, I could feel like we could do whatever we want in this match.
Who are some of the legends that you've gotten to pick their brains? Like, I know, like, one of the ones that was sending you stuff in the mail was like X-Pac. So like he was watching your stuff.
Yeah.
And, like,
So X-Pac is someone that I consider like my top mentor. The person that I talk to the most is, I talk to him. I want to at least every other day, just about wrestling. Another person was Road Dogg, who he did one of my favorite seminars, and just being able to pick his brain was just awesome because he just really talked about the in-between moments and the talking moments, the stuff that I believe that that's kind of gotten lost, especially on the independent side. So just being able to pick his brain and show like, hey, this is how you get to that next level is having these moments, because at the end of the day, like we are wrestlers, but everyone cares about the in-between moments and the talking just as much as they do the wrestling. So that was kind of cool to like open not only my eye, but everyone else's eye in the seminar about that. And then obviously like Booker T at Reality of Wrestling, every chance I get to talk to him or me and him have a phone call and just being able to talk wrestling is awesome, just awesome.
Do you ever bring up Black Snow to him?
Never.
Never.
I will say, and he's probably, I hope he doesn't listen to this before I ask him, but I just watched an old episode of The Weakest Link, and Booker T was on it, and he did not do too well, but that's the next thing I need to talk to him, but he might be mad if I bring it up.
I remember that.
Yeah.
I remember the WCW on Weakest Link. Was it WCW or TNA?
It was WWF.
It was
WWF.
Oh.
Yeah.
They did multiple episodes.
I like that X-Pac is your mentor and he has you dressed like Kevin Nash now. You get.
I would say at first I didn't know if the leather pants, like I didn't know if I dig the leather pants, but I don't think there's no way, like if anything happens, like I'm a leather pants guy now. Like,
are you really?
Yeah.
Is it? They don't make you sweat. Like you don't feel like I'm
the
so
first couple
restricted.
times it's a little hotter, but like, dude, people look so cool in leather pants. Like,
Such a wrestler answer. They look so cool in leather pants.
I like the singlet. I always told you that you could probably pull off you could pull off regular trunks, but now that you're rocking the leather pants, like I get it. Like I mean, you very much have the diesel look, so it just works.
And I'll say this, like, I think I was the first person to like kind of bring the leather pants back. Like, not a lot of people were rocking leather pants when I first started wearing them. Now you go to every independent show and there's someone that has leather pants on. So like,
yeah, but Sam, I'll give you this. Like, we watch a lot of NXT on the night shift. We watch a lot of television wrestling, and the leather pants are nobody's wearing leather pants in the ring except maybe Josh Briggs, but everyone else wears jeans or some sort of, if they're going to wear pants, they wear some sort of cargo. So the leather pants are definitely a good look because you're one of one right now. I don't see many leather pants.
100%.
Even though I'm not a fan, I like you in trunks. Like I'd rather see you in a singlet. I like gear. I think I'm like, I don't wear pants to play sports. So I'm just saying.
Right. I understand what you're saying.
But it works because you're
still there.
It works. But the leather pants was definitely it made you stand out as soon as everyone else saw it when you debuted, with those things.
Oh yeah.
So,
You know what my favorite gear is, JGold?
What?
What do you want me to wear so you can give me my paycheck?
Right. Well, listen, that is a very wrestler answer. I get it. I'm just saying,
Josh, you could never be a booker because you would not be able to refute the things that people would say about you. Like he won't book me because I don't wear the right type of gear for him.
It's
like
I would never be that nitpicky.
I think you would. I think you would. You'd get a little bit taste of the power and you'd be like, I'm not booking him. He wears leather pants. He doesn't wear what I like.
I would say that I disagree with the gear. I wouldn't ever not book. Listen, if you're making money, you're making money. It doesn't matter to me. I just saying it looks hot. You wouldn't book women wrestlers because they don't look hot enough to you, and you don't like their outfits. That is outrageous. Every time everybody says that is outrageous. It is ridiculous. First of all, I'm an older man with a child.
JGold went
like
to the DJ Hyde School of Booking, is what I was told. He learned from DJ Hyde how to book.
I definitely did not. I definitely did not. That is just wrong. It's just all right. Anyway, listen, Sam.
Wow.
So the ID stuff, as far as you're in that group on Evolve with the. Are you guys? Do you travel as like almost like an act, like when you're out with the guys from ID, or you guys just happen to be like once you leave the Performance Center and you leave Evolve tapings, are you guys booked to go elsewhere as far as like the group?
Sometimes, yeah. I mean, it's kind of like the ID programs really turned into like a brotherhood where like I'll be honest, like when I was coming up and I knew Marcus, I knew who Marcus Mathers was, and we were never close, but and I never thought we would be close just based off like geographically. But once the ID program started, like it'd be like we have all created this bond of like just like some of them are now like my closest friends, and it's kind of surreal to think about like 2 years ago, I had no idea who Cappuccino Jones was. And now, like, I would consider him like one of my closest friends. Like whenever like we're in the same town, like we're always together. And the next thing you know, like I find myself booked on all the same ID shows, working all of them just organically. And it's kind of surreal.
So that's where I think, and I don't know where that question is as far as the ID program, because we see certain people like now, and then all of a sudden I don't see them anymore, and then we see them. So, as far as just knowing who's in your, like, in that grouping, I think we had a really good idea in the beginning. I think the communication wise of who's ID'd now is a little bit more confusing because you guys are used on Evolve so much, and we see you, on Tubi and then back out on the indies. That's just it. That's just stream of consciousness. But
Josh just wants to know, the whole question he was getting to was, do you have a tracksuit that's WWID, and can he buy it from you? And is there any good sniffs left in it?
Yes, I have one, and no, you cannot buy it.
No, Sam, but I couldn't fit in it anyway, Sam. I'm on a fitness journey. I'm trying to lose some weight here. I can't.
You look good. You're looking good.
Yeah. Trying my best.
That tracksuit a JGold version of the Ribera jacket, though. He really wants one of those.
I have a Dom Guarini travel jacket. I have my Dom Guarini travel jacket that I wear whenever I go on the airplane. So I just remember that I have.
Next time you're at ETU, do not wear it because it will go missing and it will end up in his basement.
Listen, I'm gonna be 48 on Wednesday. I can't wear all the wrestling stuff that I used to.
I forgot we shared the same birthday.
Yes, I can't wear all that stuff that I used to, Sam. It's hard. It's hard to be.
I'm about to be 26, JGold. My goodness.
That's it. Jesus. Again. What? JHawk, like 20, I feel like I know Sam for a long time, and he's just a young pup now still.
26, though.
And I'm going for a colonoscopy for my second one in 3 years, Sam. And you're like, yeah, I'm 26. I just got married, and I'm
my mom's insurance this year.
Exactly. Yes.
You got to get your own health insurance. What the hell?
Absolutely terrified.
There was, I don't know if you can speak to this or not. There was a rumor going around that all the ID people were going to have to change their names. Have you heard about this at all, or?
Sure. Yeah. So, all of them just have to use their names that they use on Evolve.
Okay.
I mean, that's pretty much it. Like that's all I know of it. To be honest, like
so nothing's going to change with you or like Marcus or anything then.
No, my name's Sam Holloway on Evolve and on the Indies. So I'm.
Okay.
So like it wasn't anything that was associated with me, so I didn't look into it.
Okay.
That's pretty much all I have on that.
Now, as far as presentation goes, is there a do they say to you like, this is how we want you to, and this is only in the ID section, not Evolve, because television that part's, but the ID, do they say to you, we'd like you to wear this, or do they say go ahead and be you and we'll give you the pointers as you're out there?
Sure. Yeah, I think it's more of like a trust thing. Like, hey, we recruited you because of who you were, so go be yourself. And then after we will talk. And then if we want you to change anything about your match or how you look, like we'll discuss it then. But like, it's all just like off a trust recruitment process. Like we liked you for you, so just keep being you, and we'll just keep developing you or evolving you to what you think you can be or what you want to be type situation.
So what do you think this summer goes as far as the indies, as far as AIW, and where else are you looking to like kind of what else are you doing this summer as far as outside of the ID program that like you're proud of or that you're looking forward to? What else is going on for the next run?
Sure. So I have obviously just getting around more throughout the United States is obviously a great thing. I will say like I have some things that I cannot say yet because they're not finalized. Potentially like going outside of the United States that I'm excited for. But at the end of the day, it's whatever gets me to the next level in WWE. That's my number one concern, I guess you could say. So obviously I have things that are in the works and things that I want to progress in and things that I want to do myself. But the main thing I want to do is be within the WWE and the WWE system. So that always takes first. Yeah, I mean,
have you worked West Coast yet or no? Have you been out there?
I have not worked West Coast Pro.
Or any of the have you been out there on the West Coast or no?
I did some work in a promotion in Sacramento called SPW. I've done work obviously at Future Stars and a couple other places in Las Vegas, but I haven't been out to the West Coast as much as I would like to. So that's something I want to try and do going into the summer and just the rest of 2026.
Group of Future Stars are good people. I worked for them a few times. Yeah. They're pretty good people.
Awesome people.
Oh, JHawk's been there. I can't believe it, JHawk. All that traveling and Hall of Fame ref out on the West Coast.
He's been there with his VR glasses in the garage.
I mean, and I guess for like AIW, that you also brought up.
Yeah.
I'm in the situation of AIW where it's like I'm the champion there, but I mean, if we're looking at the current situation at AIW, there's 5, 6, 10 guys trying to wrestle me. So like,
yeah.
So I guess what you need to do is you need to tell Triple H he needs to let Thorne borrow the Elimination Chamber.
Yes, we need a chamber
for Absolution. We'll call it the Absolution Chamber, and then it's you and Mikey and Chuck and Eric and all them and Nick Gage and everybody.
I'm not wrestling any of them. They got to figure it out between themselves. Like I don't have to just show up and wrestle. You know, it's like I'm the champ. Like they can all figure it out themselves.
You know,
like,
remarkable wrestling out here on Long Island. They have an elimination chamber. That dude Kono, he built one, and they actually wrestle. And Struggles and Jack are out there doing commentary for an elimination chamber out there. So if you want to come out to Deer Park, Sam.
Why haven't we have an ETU elimination chamber? What Struggle's doing with that?
That's a really. I don't think they want to transfer. I don't think they want to transfer
put
that.
Me in the chamber, Struggles.
Yeah.
What are we doing?
I think that's how you should crown the new ETU champion now that it's vacant. Should be in the elimination chamber. Yeah.
Hell yeah! I think they don't want to travel that thing. I don't even think it makes it out of the building that they're in. that he built it on out from Deer Park out to New Jersey. I don't think that trip they would survive. I'm not even sure it survived when people were in it. So
we can make our own at ECU. We can get Struggles. Sure, we can put Struggles and get to work.
I can guarantee. I can guarantee you, JGold, you'll never see one in AIW if Pedro don't want to build the damn thing.
Well, I mean, that thing that they built in Akron was crazy. That when whatever that was, I don't even. They had the 2 rings and like the whole thing. That was insane looking.
I think there's the cage was there, and there's.
You weren't in that match, right? That was Dom and
Dom and Chuck. Yeah,
ever be in that match. I remember watching it. I love watching that stuff, but oh my gosh, that's
so that's a question. Yes, that I forgot to ask you. And I think I asked you when you were here when you were young about it. But have you done or will you ever any of the death matches or no?
No.
No interest?
I would say I am a fan of it. I think it is awesome, and I think that is a different style, and I think it's a very captivating style. But I don't think I would do as well as other people that are in that field. Like, I'll take like Kaplan, for example. Like every time Kaplan does something like that, like I watch it every time. I make sure I watch it live. Like Matt Tremont. Obviously, like my independent wrestling knowledge isn't very well as others, but like in my eyes, like Matt Tremont is probably on the Mount Rushmore of independent wrestling. Like just how like being able to see someone like him live is very captivating. And I just think like from the body of his work of what he's done over the years to be as captivating as is like something that has to be taken notice. And just that style is just so unorthodox. Is something that I've never done or probably won't do. It's just interesting to watch and interesting how it sets things up and how crazy some of these people will go. It's just remarkable.
And I think we talk about this all the time. It's not 100% for everybody seeing. I remember, and we still talk about this during COVID when Twan Tucker took the light tube off of his head and the look on his face just changed. And that was the end. Like he was never the same in that match. That was it. Like he was just like, nope, I didn't like that. And that was it.
That's probably that would probably be me.
I just can't even. I just that stuck with me forever during COVID when it was in that field in New Jersey and Twan took the light tube. I think he was wrestling Bishop or Dom. It was one of them, and he took the light. Dom. He took the light tube. The whole match changed. That was it. I don't think you were wrestling yet. I think that was 21.
Yeah, no, I was started in 23, 22. Yeah, I wasn't even in the school yet. No.
Yeah, and that they were doing those. The no holds barred in Jersey, and Dom hit him with the light tube, and Twan Tucker was just never the same. That was it. I get it. And you mentioned Tremont, so let me ask you one more thing about as far as the indie talent goes. Who do you want to, or who do you have your eyes on, or who do you like watching right now as far as the indies go? When you get to a show, you're like, I love watching that dude.
Mance Warner, and that's like all these people that I mentioned. Also, like they're on my bucket list, I guess you could say, of people I want to wrestle on the independents. Mance is someone that the way he just works and the way he works the crowd is something that I would, just want to feel and also like learn. Who else? Manders is still another one. Just seeing how much he has grown as an individual just by going over to Europe and everything, and how every time he goes to Europe and every time he comes back, he's just getting better. Is there anybody in Evolve?
Or like from LFG that you're like, okay, I can't wait to do that, like Keanu Carver, let's say, or somebody like that from LFG?
Yeah, Elio Lafleur, from France. Me and him have some history that I don't know if we could talk about, but like he's someone that I think is remarkable, and I think that me and him would have great chemistry. Romeo's another one. Honestly, like all the European guys that are currently in LFG or NXT, Tristan Angels is another one who I appreciate the way he talks, the way he moves, and it's just you can tell he just thinks of the sport differently from everybody. So like those guys, I would love to get in the ring with all of them and just work with them.
That European mentality is different from here. Then when you get a chance to meet those guys, and it's obviously I'm asking you, like, it's obviously have a different mindset when it comes to the rest, right? Like they just put things together a little differently.
Yeah, they just learned a different way from someone that was trained in the States, and it's just so interesting.
That's awesome. Well, Sam, it's getting late, and I know that we all appreciate you giving us time tonight because you're busy and it's hard to nail you down. So I don't even know how you do your plugs because you have so much stuff going on. You have any plugs you want to do? Like besides you want to talk? Go ahead.
Sam H. Holloway on all socials. Catch me on Evolve every Wednesday on Tubi or internationally on YouTube. And then obviously you can see me at promotions like Reality of Wrestling, Alpha One Wrestling in Ontario, Greektown, and Toronto, ETU in New Jersey. Whenever AIW decides who's going to wrestle me, you can find me in Cleveland, but I don't know. Who knows when they're going to figure that out, because it's between 8 people right now, and I'm not just going to show up just to wrestle all 8 of them. So whenever they get that figured out is when I'll be back. And yeah, I mean, those are all my main spots right now. So absolutely.
That's great. That's great, Sam. We really appreciate it. It's great seeing how far you've come from that Fresh Meat interview till now, and just holy crap, it's fast.
Yeah,
unbelievably impressive. Yeah, man. JHawk, you want to do a plug?
I don't have much right now. Twitter and Blue Sky at Ref JHawk, pretty much the main social come on. At Ref JHawk on everything except Instagram, which is JHawk1539. And with everything that I got going on, I have nothing particular going on the next few weeks. No.
Butters, you got something going on in your head right now?
I'm surprised he didn't talk about his Purina sponsorship that he got.
We didn't get one reference the whole show, and I'm here.
There was no place to go with it, Sam. Where are we getting in? To be nasty.
You just got it.
I'm working on it, Sam. It's gonna come off.
I saw the wheels turning in his head. He looked up and like he was getting all excited. The smile was
one.
It's just so unfortunate.
That's for you, Marcus Mathers.
What you got to plug?
IW Guide hats and shirts. The new logo's out. I got my first payment from Brainbuster Tees. We need to sell more shirts from Brainbuster. So, and the hats are great. So I'll have those the next couple shows. That's all I got.
All right, you can find me on Twitter and Instagram at JGold12. Rate, review, and subscribe wherever you listen to us. Our Twitter handle, IWGuide1, youtube.com/IWGuide. And we're on the road to 100 subscribers, and that's all organic on YouTube. Patreon.com/IWGuide. Don't forget about the merch store over Brainbuster Tees. Our friend Will at Gorilla Press Apparel, our podcast friends. We are part of the Main Event Wrestling Network. The Wrestling Junkies, On the Mark Wrestling Podcast, Tino's Time, Blog World Order, my show, the NXT Night Shift, live Tuesday nights at 10:15. At Odds with Wrestling, the card is going to change. Super Fantastic Podcast, and Marks with Mikes. Check out our other friends, Monsters in the Toy Box, Toy Hio, Rubber City Toys, Neo Pro Wrestling, OKCR Creations, Stash Pages, and Pally's Beef Jerky by our friend Kaplan. Sam, thanks again. Butters?
Thank you, guys.
Life short, watch more indie wrestling.
Don't forget to review and subscribe wherever you listen to us. Find us online at Facebook and Instagram at the Indie Wrestling Guide, and on X or Twitter at IWGuide1.